everyone, in today's video I have a book haul. This is mostly used books, but I do have a small handful of a couple of new ones that I'll show at the end. And this is a few months worth of collecting books. Many are from the thrift store, many are from half-price books in their clearance section. A few are from like a little free event that our Buy Nothing group does. I think that's it. So let me show you. All right, the first one I got, I'm not positive if I've shown this one before or not, so if I have, I'm sorry, but I picked up Never Caught, the Washingtons' relentless pursuit of their runaway slave, Ona Judge. I thought this sounded really interesting, and actually I have the young readers edition of this that I will probably use 8th grader for history. And so when I saw this version, I decided to go ahead and grab this. This is actually on clearance at Half Price Books, so it was only a couple bucks. I picked that up. I've already started reading it, and it's really, really good. All right, the next one I picked up for $3 at Half Price Books. This is a teen or young adult nonfiction. It's called Witch Hunt: Mysteries of the Salem Witch Trials. Again, I thought this could be good to use in our U.S. history this upcoming year for my 8th grader. The reviews on this were really good, so I'm hoping that it is good as well. And if you want to read the blurb there, you can pause and take a look at it. But it sounded good. It says the acclaimed young adult historian Mark Aronson sifts through the facts, myths, half-truths, misinterpretations, and theories around the trials to present readers with a vivid narrative of one of the most compelling mysteries in American history. So for $3, I felt like that was a win. All right, this one I got for free at that free event. It's just The Great Gatsby. It's been a long time since I have read this, but I thought it would be a good one to add to our shelf. This one my daughter picked out at Half Price Books. She wanted to read My Side of the Mountain. That was $2. This is one that I thought one of my kids would be interested in. It was also $2. And let's see. I hate it when the sticker doesn't come off cleanly. Jennifer Holm is the author. There we go. It's called The 14th Goldfish, Believe in the Possible. And there's a sequel to this too. It says Ellie has never liked change. She misses 5th grade. She misses her old best friend. She even misses her dearly departed goldfish. Then one day, a strange boy shows up. He's bossy, he's cranky, and weirdly enough, he looks a lot like Ellie's grandfather, a scientist who's always been slightly obsessed with immortality. Could this gawky teenager really be Grandpa Melvin? Has he finally found the secret to eternal youth? I thought that sounded good. All right, $2, Number of the Stars. My daughter has read this, but my son hasn't, so this looks like brand new. Couldn't pass it up. This is a book that I've read before, and it's kind of it's a little too this could happen kind of a book. I loved it when I read it years ago when it first came out. When did this come out? 2012. But I kind of wanted to reread it, and eventually I think one of my kids would enjoy this. This is one I actually had on my list, and then I found it in the clearance section at Half Price Books. It's called On Writing Well, The Classic Guide to Writing Nonfiction by William Zinsser. And it's a little yellowed around the edges, but otherwise it looks like it's in really good shape. It has been praised for its sound advice, its clarity, and the warmth of its style. It's a book for everybody who wants to learn how to write or who needs to do some writing to get through the day, as almost everybody does in the age of email and the internet. Whether you want to write about people or places, science and technology, business, sports, the arts, or about yourself in the increasingly popular memoir genre, On Writing Well offers you fundamental principles as well as the insights of a distinguished writer and teacher. With more than 1 million copies sold, yada yada. I thought that looked good. All right, this book we already own. I have the paperback copy, but I have not read it with my kids yet. And this one was a hardcover copy for $5, and I like, likely I will do this with my daughter in the next year or two. And I like for us each to have a copy of the book. So for $5, I grabbed that. This one I think I got from eBay. It's called The Swallowtail Legacy, Wreck at Ada's Reef. And this is like a mystery. I think there's maybe 3 books in the series. I'm not positive. But I liked that this one was set on an island in Lake Erie. And I grew up boating on Lake Erie, and so we visit Lake Erie often. I just thought it would be fun to have a story that's set on Lake Erie. And that was just a couple bucks on eBay. This is not a book, but a game I picked up at the thrift store recently. It was $3.97. It was new in the package, and I thought that this would be good for kind of like some visual logic, kind of brain teaser. There's like clear cards in here, and then there are solid cards like this, and you get a certain number of these, and you have to line these all up so that if you put them on this, the dots would like match up. So I think that's good. It challenges us. So I thought that was a good find. And we don't really have anything like that, where you kind of really have to visually be able to kind of picture how things are going to line up. So I thought that was good. Oh, most of the books that I got are for homeschool, but I did get a couple for myself. Also from the clearance section at Half Price Books. I love Kate Morton, and this is one that I have not read by her yet, and it was in the clearance section for $4. I've enjoyed, I think, just about everything I've read by her. I've read The House at Riverton, The Forgotten Garden. I don't know if I read The Distant Hours or The Lake House. I can't remember. But anyway, for $4, this will go on my shelf. And when I'm in the mood for that, I will have it. And then also, this was in the clearance section too for $4. I'd never heard of this one. But when I read the synopsis, I thought it sounded really interesting. Basically, it says Alice Love is 29, crazy about her husband, and pregnant with her first child. So imagine Alice's surprise when she comes to on the floor of a gym. She hates the gym, and is whisked off to the hospital where she discovers the honeymoon is truly over. She's actually 39 years old, has 3 kids, and is getting divorced. Anyway, I thought that sounded really interesting and like a fun read. So this I got at our little free event. There is some annotating in here, so I don't know if that's going to bug me or not, but for free, we don't have a copy of The Outsider, so I thought that was worth grabbing. I think I got this one at the thrift store. Books at our thrift store, kids' books at our thrift store are 75 cents or $1.50, just depending. So this one's called The Night Diary by Vera. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name. This was a Newbery Honor book, and I just thought it sounded good. It says 12-year-old Nisha doesn't recognize her country anymore. It's 1947, and India, newly freed from British rule, has been divided into 2 countries, Pakistan and India. Hundreds of thousands are killed crossing borders as the tensions between Muslims and Hindus flare. When Papa, who's Hindu, decides it's too dangerous to stay in Pakistan, Nisha and her family become refugees and embark on a journey by train and by foot to reach their new home. The trek is long, difficult, and dangerous, and after losing her Muslim mother as a baby, Nisha can't imagine losing her homeland too. But even if her country has been ripped apart, Nisha still believes in the possibility of putting herself back together. Told through Nisha's letters to her mother, The Night Diary is a heartfelt story of one girl's search for home, for her own identity, and for a hopeful future. So yeah, I thought that was good. Grabbed a copy of Hatchet because we didn't have one. And then these two were literally like brand new, Catching Fire and Mockingjay. And I own the first one, The Hunger Games, although it's a different cover. But I thought eventually my daughter is probably going to want to read these, and I will probably read them again as well. I'm actually rereading The Hunger Games right now. Actually, let me show you. The copy I have is so beautiful. This is my copy of The Hunger Games, and like, look how pretty. I love this new like trend of having really pretty like edges. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing, and end papers too, like really nice end papers. But anyway, I really love this. I would love to have the whole series, like this version of it, but these at the thrift store for 75 cents, I'll take. And then I don't have to share if I get ones that match mine. But either way, I think these would be good to have on our shelf, and I couldn't pass them up for that price. All right, this also on clearance from Half Price Books. This is The Boys in the Boat. I think this is the Young Readers edition, and I thought that this would be really kind of cool to add in to our history studies for my daughter. This is the true story of an American team's epic journey to win gold at the 1936 Olympics. So I thought that would be a cool add-in. My husband really wants to read this too, so I don't know if he'll get the adult version and read it at the same time that my daughter reads this, or if he'll just read this one with her, but I couldn't pass that up. I was super excited to see this at Half Price Books. It was on clearance for $2, and it's from Core Knowledge. It is one of the classics. I don't know what grade they do this in. I'm going to assume like fifth or sixth, 4th through 6th. I don't know, somewhere in there. I didn't look it up yet, but this is King Arthur and the Round Table, and it's the abridged version for young readers, but it's the one that if you do Core Knowledge, the version that they would be reading. I kind of like it because it has vocabulary kind of marked throughout, which is kind of cool. And since my son is going to be doing medieval times for history next year, this was a book that I wanted him to read anyway, so I think we'll likely just use this, and I'll look up the teacher's guide from Core Knowledge for this and see if I want to pull that in anywhere. But I thought that was a great find. This I was really happy to find on clearance for $4. This is a book that one of the books I want to use if we do like a graphic novel and comics unit study next year. This book is referenced in one of the books I got for us to use, so I was happy to find that on clearance. I also found The Narrative Life of Frederick Douglass. I don't know when we will be using this, but I feel like it's something I want both of my kids to read at some point, so since it was in the clearance section, I grabbed that. I also thought this was really cool. I'm always amazed by what I can find in the clearance section. This was only $2. It's by Walter Dean Myers, and it's The Harlem Hellfighters, When Pride Met Courage. And it's just a really nice book. Lots of pictures. It's black and white, but lots of really good information. And this is definitely something that we can use as we're studying history this year. So for $2, I thought that was a great find. All right, I think that's pretty much all the used books. I'm sure a few have traveled because this stack they've been sitting here for a while waiting for me to do this. But let me show you the new books. There's only 4 of them, and 2 of them kind of go together. It is The Paper Daughters of Chinatown, and this is the adult version, and then this is a new version adapted for young readers based on this. This is a novel that's based on a true story. And again, I thought that this might be something good to add into our U.S. history. I'm going to read this, and I'll read this, but my thought is that I would have my daughter read this one. This might be a tad young, but we'll see when I finish reading it. But I'm actually very excited. I've already started reading this. I started reading this one too, but I'm more into this one right now, and I really like how it's written. So those are 2 new additions. And then this one, if you watched my Homeschool Mom Summer Bucket List video, you would have seen this there. This is called Building Strong Writers, Strategies and Scaffolds for Teaching Writing in Secondary ELA. I heard about this on Arlene's channel, Arlene and Company. So I just thought that this would be a really good book for me to read as kind of for professional growth as a homeschool teacher, and my libraries did not carry it, so I ended up just purchasing it new. I couldn't find it used either, so I grabbed that. And then the last one I got is this one called What Can I Say? And I'm pretty sure that the author of this book also wrote How to Be a Person, which is a book we're going to be using as kind of a group read, a group subject. I'll read it in the mornings next school year. And so when I saw this one and it hit some kind of topics that I wanted to talk about with my kids, I decided to go ahead and grab it, and we can use it in the same way we're going to use that other book. But this is called What Can I Say? A Kid's Guide to Super Useful Social Skills to Help You Get Along and Express Yourself. Now, it's set up just like the other one, where there's just like a little topic and then a page or 2 of information. There's not a huge amount of information or text in for each topic, but I kind of like that. For me, this is like a jumping off point, and it kind of is a guide for me. And some of the topics, what is in here will be more than enough, and others it will allow me like a starting point, and then I can expand on it. But I think this will be good. It may not be a good fit for every family. There's a wide variety of topics. It especially gets into how to be an ally. It talks about, it gets into dating and things, which is not really an issue here yet, but something that we can certainly still talk about. We have how to be supportive, how to express empathy, how to be supportive when someone confides in you, being supportive, being respectful, how to be inclusive, how to stick up for someone, and then this section on how to be an ally. So not a fit for everyone, but definitely something that is a fit for us that I want to make sure my kids are exposed to. So I bought that one new. All right, that is everything I have. It was a lot. Now I got to find room for it all on my shelves, which is the bigger challenge. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'd love to talk to you down in the comments.